group of believers, they went to the mosque and asked the sheikh. They said, "Sheikh, we want you to pray for us so we can have rain, Salat al-Istisqa." And the sheikh said, looked at them and said, "No, you go first home, you bring your umbrellas, and you come back. Because you don't have umbrellas, you don't believe it will work. And I see that you don't have umbrellas. That means you don't believe that there could be a leakage of data from the cloud on our heads. And we want to keep it that way. My name is Zaki Krayem, and I help you and I protect you, your way of life in the cloud. How am I going to do that? First of all, I'm going to present to you how the market is shifting. It's a shared responsibility and you are part of it. I'll try to avoid whatever information was given to you today. And the subscription models, no easy way, how to check before migrating to the cloud, and how to save money, which is the most important. Do you know that according to Flexera said that 30% of the spending on the cloud is lost. It's like you go to a restaurant and order a big kapsa only for yourself, and the rest is wasted. So whatever money you're spending on the cloud is wasted. Let's see. First of all, according to IDG, 92% of organizations are somehow on the cloud today. If you don't believe me, just contact me after the session and tell me, my organization is called XYZ, and I will tell you immediately what is your footprint on the cloud. What do you have already on the cloud? Nobody can tell me we are not on the cloud, we are not using the cloud. Number two, Flexera, 93% of enterprises have multi-cloud strategy. Do you know why? Because it's an addiction. Imagine you have your iPhone, and I'm telling you, you can only use Apple Maps. You cannot use Google Maps. You will not agree, right? So, once you are on the cloud, for example, you will like Google Analytics, SAP ERP, Oracle, etc. So 95% of the organization will be on multi-cloud already by 2025. And they are going to use the best that suits their applications, their business from the cloud, from multi-cloud. According to Gartner, it will be a huge market. A huge market. And I've seen people fighting against the internet, fighting against the email. Please don't send me an email. Fax is my only official way of communication. I've seen all this, voice over IP, etc. And at the end, technology takes over. And we have to adapt with it. According to Flexera, again, 90% of customers relied on cloud as a result of the pandemic. So we have to admit that the pandemic that happened, COVID-19, helped a lot pushing the cloud. Or actually, it accelerated the cloud, Zoom calls, Teams, etc. So even working from home is a lot accelerated by a pandemic. And we don't need another pandemic to prove that to you. IDC, 80% of cloud customers are concerned about security. And security, when you want to upload your information to the cloud, is a huge concern, is a big concern for you. And you should be very alerted what to share to the cloud, what you keep in your premises, and what you keep in a private cloud in the country. This is the most important exercise that you can do. A quick answer, we're not going to the cloud, or we're going to the cloud, is not the right answer. The right thing to do, what I'm gonna keep in my premise, what I'm gonna share on the cloud and what I'm going to keep in the country in a private cloud. And cloud, let's say, deals are coming, and they are coming in big projects. Just want to mention Boeing. It's a $1 billion cloud project with multi-cloud, and this is just the beginning. It's the tip of the ice. Who believes that cloud is safe? Who believes? Raise hands if you believe cloud is safe. Wow, nobody believes the cloud is safe. That's good. So how is the market shifting? Here, I want to tell you a small observation. A few days ago, I was watching a movie called BlackBerry. You should all watch this movie. It's the rise and fall of BlackBerry. And in this movie, I saw the CEO of BlackBerry blaming the Verizon why you are now working with Apple, with iPhone. We are a better technology. We use less data. We are very effective. And iPhone is absolutely the opposite. And the answer of Verizon CEO was that, you know what's your problem? And then the guy said, what's my problem? He said, your problem that in every minute, there is only a minute. What does this mean? Apple, iPhone, Steve Jobs, he knew that he cannot create a better technology, let's say, compete with BlackBerry on the efficiency of data, et cetera, et cetera. He convinced Verizon that, hey, stop selling minutes and start selling data. When you sell data, as much as the customer consumes data, you sell more. You are not anymore limited by a minute. So this shift in the market killed BlackBerry and killed all other companies. And we should expect disruptions in the market. You might wake up tomorrow and see that your business is at great risk. So how can you respond fast? How can you be agile? By using cloud technology. Cloud will give you all the efficiency, will give you all the scalability, high availability. You can respond fast. You can deploy in minutes instead of launching an IT project that might take a year or a year and a half. So if we all agree on this, then by 2025, we will see that 95% of us are using multi-cloud. Google, AWS, Alibaba, etc. Microsoft, of course, Azure. So, one customer told me, I will shift my workloads to the cloud and they will take care of the security. Is this true? And the answer is no. Of course, you expected this. So why? Because the cloud service provider will take care of physical infrastructure, network, and virtualization of your servers. While if you take like a platform as a service, then the cloud service provider will take care of the guest OS. And in best cases, software as a service, you are still responsible for the data and user access. So user access and your data that is between these clouds and between your end user and the data center is always your responsibility. Unfortunately, but it's always your responsibility. Nobody can do this for you. So customers, they escaped from their problems to the cloud because it's elastic, scalable, available. I don't have to start with a massive amount of money. I can start my service with very little money. Scale, it's a fast deployment. I can install applications in minutes, in hours, instead of days. It's a pay-as-you-grow OpEx model. But according to IDC, Gartner, Flexera, etc., I collected all of them here in one information that inconsistent security policies is seen by more than 80% of the customers. They started to get lost. Because when Microsoft told them, come, let us do your migration to the cloud, they said, okay, and they checked the security with Microsoft, or with AWS, or etc. So now they have on-premise security, Microsoft security, AWS security, Oracle security, so there is inconsistency. And this is a big problem for the customers. 80% plus face this problem. There is a lack of visibility. You expected this, of course, lack of visibility, because there are too many things to manage. There is disjointed console and misconfiguration because of a lot of trainings to be done. Someone has to be trained on AWS, etc., Microsoft. It's not the same policy. And insecurity, of course. Definitely, the bad guys are waiting at the corner, and they want to take advantage of the situation. So there was an exfiltration of data. By the way, if you have time to only read one security report per year, I advise you to read the Verizon breach investigation report, because Verizon is a huge service provider, and they issue a report about what's happening in the network, what's going on. And they said that they see an exfiltration of sensitive data of more than 50%. So more than 50% of customers face this. Unauthorized access also, more than 50%. And finally, impersonation, social actions, and credential theft. What does it mean? Somebody is impersonation me. And I think it's not only organization. Every one of you have a friend who called you, and he's scared, and he said, my WhatsApp was hacked. Somebody hacked my WhatsApp. Somebody hacked my Facebook. Somebody hacked my Twitter. So this is called impersonation. And this is going 15 times, Yani. This year, 15 times last year. So it's all related to the people. And since it is the cloud, so I chose to show you like a stairs to go to the cloud. So 3 things to remember only. First of all, you need to secure all communication to the cloud, between the clouds, between the applications, between the end users and the cloud. And second, you need compliance. So compliance should be out of the box. Why? Because you cannot easily make a compliance project while your data is on the cloud. You can maybe do it in your premise, but it should be like compliant out of the box with the cloud. Here I'm talking about GDPR, PCI, etc. And finally, you need to ensure that the policies are consistent and the management is unified, communication is unified. So what you need, if we want to have like a flashy title for this, let's call it the Adaptive Cloud Security Architecture. What is an adaptive security architecture? So I will give like a simple example, okay? Let's say you have a mall and there are many entrances. And one security guy at entrance 1, he identified a threat, and he did not allow the guy to go in because he saw something that is not right. So this guy, he went to another door and he entered because the other guy, he did not identify the same. While if all the guards are immediately talking to each other at a certain point and giving alerts, then anybody that can find any threat will benefit all of them. So here, the first thing is that you need a solution to cover everybody and to be integrated. So the solution will give like integration, and this integration between the products is essential. It's very important, and it should be like automated, so we don't forget. Here, I would like to mention something. You might have, for example, most of us, when we want to implement a solution, we search who's the best in firewalls, let's say? Okay, XYZ. Who's the best in, etc. So we bring these products and we do the implementation. This does not mean, if you have the best products, this does not mean you have a high security rating. A high security rating can only be achieved when you have these products talking to each other, integrated with each other, automated with each other. This is very, very important, especially in a cloud environment where you are away from the cloud. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a big difference. So it's a big difference if you are collecting the data from the different security components and having it in a kind of a platform or a fabric where every application talks to the other application. I don't like boring, let's say, putting things in a boring presentation, so I put them in a football field. So just to give you an idea, what are the applications, the security applications that might be on the run? So on the, let's say, on the side, we have the manager, let's say, the manager who manages all the applications, all the security applications, where we put the security policies, when we do the monitoring. There is an log analyzer, هيدا مساعد مدرب الفريق, the log analyzer, SOAR, cloud native protection. We have the DevSec, etc. And this is the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper is nothing but the what we call the FortiGuard, which is, let's say, the cloud, the one that receives all the information and all the new threats and alert about the new threats from all over the world, all devices. And it helps a lot in the zero day and the ZTNA. Great. My advice to you is the following. Cloud is a little bit different than on-prem. So if you wanna, let's say, implement a solution on your premise, and you go to a certain company, this company will give you like a proposal about a certain product. While in the cloud, you have to make sure first that the service or the product exists on your cloud service provider. Let's say if it is Microsoft Azure, then you have to make sure it is available on Microsoft Azure. And the second thing is to make sure that it is available, how it is available. Is it a BYOL, bring your own license, or it is like pay as you go, that you can buy it from the marketplace itself. So before you migrate your workloads to the cloud, please make sure of where are you going, what is available the way you go, so you don't get stuck with some options that are not pleasurable. Another advice, by the way, you'll remember these advices later on when you go to the cloud. Another advice is a subscription model. Cloud idea targeted in the beginning the customers that they don't want to just implement a data center and have a lot of investment to implement a data center, buy the hardware, etc. Sometimes they want to do a small project like a test or small project or something like, for example, COMEX. COMEX is only 5 days, and we want, let's say, to do an infrastructure for the project, etc. So we need like a month of subscription. This is how the Idea Cloud came. So it started with a monthly subscription, and it is still offering a monthly subscription. The problem with monthly subscription is it's expensive. It's true that you can cancel at any time or subscribe at any time, but it is expensive. So if you are planning to move workloads to the cloud, then it's better to consider like a 1-year commitment or 3 years commitment. So if you are willing to do so, please ask your provider for a private offer. If you are paying on a monthly basis, you will save a lot of money by asking for a private offer. That will give you the advantage of the same service, but at a low price.
Mr. Zaki, 2 minutes left.
And finally, most important thing is that when we move our workloads to the cloud, we don't gamble. We rely on pre-tested reference architectures. These pre-tested reference architectures, like for example, it's vice versa. Now, if you buy a product, you bring the product to your environment, you launch an IT project, you start doing the implementation, configuration, etc., and you end up by having the products up and running and your project hopefully successful. In the cloud, we do all this. We test, we have a reference architecture, and then when you click that box, check box, you get it tested, ready, successful. There is very little chance that it doesn't work. Another example, these are reference architectures for SAP on all the clouds. So it is already there. You don't have to even bother yourself with this. So, takeaways. First of all, decide on cloud migration model. Which cloud migration model? I won't ask you, some were eating, some, etc. So, are you going hybrid? Are you going multi-cloud? Are you going all the way to the cloud? Yes, maybe. Decide on this model first. Because if you are going multi-cloud and on-prem and multi-cloud, you definitely need to take care of your own security. If you are going with one cloud only and you are sure you are not, then maybe if you use the security of this cloud service provider, it's a good idea. Second, understand cloud security shared responsibility. So if I have someone connecting to my cloud, how can I secure ZTNA, let's say SD1 connectivity, SD1 security, etc.? Then connectivity access is always your responsibility. Third, check with vendors before migrating. Check and check and check, because you don't want to hit a wall at the end like some other customers. Save money by understanding subscription models. This workload, I'm moving to the cloud permanently, so I need an offer for 3 years, let's say. But these other workloads, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. Maybe it will be 1 year or less, so I'm going to choose a monthly subscription model, etc. And finally, play it safe with tested and verified reference architectures that I showed you. So the question now, are you willing to take full control of your security on the cloud, or you resign from this and leave it to someone else? Thank you, everyone.